Welcome back to the Twisted Worlds. I am currently recording in the evening, close to night. I normally do this in morning. Had some stuff going around the house, didn't want to interfere with the recording, so yeah. And I was also hoping that I wouldn't yawn as much. Yeah, no, it, that that's gonna happen still. In fact, I still feel one coming around now. Oh God. Well, before we go into it, the roll of the dice is chaotic, but none more so than the algorithm. So be sure to like, subscribe, and share the video, and yeah, let us get to it. Oh God, here comes a new one. Ugh. Oh God. Even with the magical energies of the artifacts he has collected, bolstering his physical abilities, the speed he is going, and at the urgency of his needs, Gordur grows exhausted, but he managed to return to the claimed lands. Everyone rushes to him confused as he is out of breath. Maris and her ghostly parents rush to him with concern as he catches his breath. He relays to everyone what has transpired. Concern turns to fear, for everyone knows what it means. It means war is coming for the claimed lands, and a threat of the Mad Lich God. Okay. So, you know what that means. Time to do some shenanigans. Let's see. With the crystal ball in the center of a table, Gordur and Maris's family are all communicating with the Council of Shasera and the Lords of the City of the Dead, or Dead City. I can't remember which one it is. The place with the friendly undead. Either way, they are looking for a plan. Trying to figure out how best to defend. The problem is that Carlisle would be able to send massive armies, golems made of gold and whatnot, to all three locations. Shasira is able to is close to this dead city, so they're able to bolster their forces. However, the new city is and Gordor's homestead lands are relatively underprotected between the two. As such, They're looking over a map of all the lands. Any plans? We're gonna need to figure out how to defend ourselves. Well, with Gordur's plan, with, with the strength he has, we wish he could be in everywhere at once. Is there a way we can sustain magical portals? I believe so, yes, there is. We can set up portals to other places. We would need 3 portals in each area. 3? No, we need 2. In each area. Each of which will lead to one of the other 2 places. Well, that's simple. But we need to cover our weaknesses, though. We have a way to travel and send reinforcements quickly. But the initial defense is going to be difficult. How are we to handle that? Well, let's look at everything individually. First, we have Shasira and the Dead City. That that would be the primary target. It has the largest gold mine in all of the lands. But it also boasts the largest forces we have. That is correct. Now then, what do we do about the other places? The city would be the next biggest target. It's highly defensible, but not many fighters. Um, Most of the city is civilians, after all. And what about the forest and the homestead? That's the least defensible location, but it's also the least. But it's also the least likely to be targeted. If they can navigate through the forest, however, they'd have an easy way to get into any of our locations. The creatures of the forest should be able to defend it as well. So we got an offensive position, a defensive position, and a position that's likely to need is likely to need cover due to its central location, but it's got relative control. Problems is numbers, and the problems we have are numbers and tactics. How's our chances look? I believe we have plenty of time to create substantial defenses, fortify everything, get supplies to where they need to be, and all that. Can set up traps and everything in the forest in case they do that, take that route. There's just two things we're gonna need. What's that? We're gonna need more fighters, and we're going to need much more. And we're gonna need some magic in case they try to do anything funny. Well, I do believe there's a spire of an order of wizards that live and spellcasters that are far to the south of these lands. You think we should try to negotiate with them? I believe it's worth a shot. So, I'll go there right away. Everyone start defending. Start preparing their defenses. I'll be on my way. And so Gordur has a new assignment. He's gone to go recruit a guild of mages in order to help shore up the magical defenses of their abilities, shore up magical needs. As Gordur moves, he moves very fast. It takes him a full day of running with his enhanced physical abilities to reach the tower. A large tower that looks to be made of crystal. Gordur approaches it. A magical tower. Gordur doesn't see a way to enter the building in his normal sense, but he gets a feeling there's a magical way to open it. As Gordur tries, he cannot think of a way to open the way to the tower and talk to the mages. So, he comes to a decision. The decision is to randomly shout at the tower. Hello? Anyone there? It's an emergency. I need to talk to the leaders of this mage's guild. A portal appears just out of Gordur's reach, and a head pops out. What do you want? Who are you? As you a barbarian. Why are you here? I need to talk to the leaders of this guild. We have a problem. Our home is going to be besieged soon by a large force. We need all the defense we can get. We also need help in order to defeat this enemy and need magical assistance. I don't care. Why would we care? You are a non-magical plebeian. A green-skinned plebeian who smells of dirt and fur. So why don't you go back? So why don't you just go back and leave us alone? Gordur ponders this, and then he goes, and a thought crosses his mind. If yelling doesn't work, smashing tends to get attention. He pulls out his axe. Fine. If you won't let me in, I'll just destroy this tower. You think you can destroy a magical tower? Please! Your bark's worse than your bite. And it's such a disgusting thing to think that such a boorish brute such as yourself can potentially think to harm such a magical wonder as this tower. Gordur slams his axe with all his might onto the side of the spire. As he does, a massive chunk from the base of the tower gets cleaved apart. Cracks form all along the side. Of the tower and create more and more cracks. The tower rings and shakes at the utter force that Gordur has inflicted on it. The man shouting from the open portal responds.
Holy shit! I didn't think it was possible. What kind of a brute are you?
An impatient one with a lot of lives riding on his shoulders. Now get me your leaders so I can discuss a way to get their aid.
Alright, I'll do it. Jeez, they're not gonna like this. I am so screwed.
And after 5 minutes, a portal opens up at the base of the tower. Gordur steps forward. As he does, a room opens up in front of him. A massive meeting room with many wizards and mages, sorcerers, many spellcasters in the room. So, you're the one who calls on our aid.
Yeah, and he destroyed a good chunk of our tower.
Well, maybe if you didn't egg him on, our tower would still be in perfect condition.
Bite me, Suzanne.
Shut up, Ricky. Ugh. Can you two please just stop? Sorry, Lord Munsonwax. Okay. We heard. What is the issue? Gordur lays all that is about to happen to the claimed lands. The impending army, the greedy lord, who covets nothing but gold. And finally, the risk of the mad lich god, Varakis. Ugh. Those all sound pretty dire, but that doesn't sound like it's plausible. I do not think your words ring any truth at all. I am telling you, we need a. I am telling you, we need an enemy. What we need, an enemy is coming. The very fate of the world hangs in the balance because of a selfish fool. Please. It'd be very difficult to face. An army like that, even with our support. Plus, we do not believe in the risks you prove to us. Listen. We need support. If you don't believe me, ask the dead city. The Madawan's token was stolen from there over a century ago. And it's found its way to the hands of Carlyle, the Gold Lord. Like we'll believe an orc knows people from the dead city. What would they possibly want with Shasira? Shasira is the city nearest to it, so why not go to them? Your story is becoming less and less believable. Gordur's frustration is at its peak. Listen, if we do not stop Carlyle, then enough. You have failed to convince us. Please, leave now. Thank you. Gordur says in a flash of the moment. Fine. If you don't believe me, don't you have some magic that allows you to discern the truth, find out what's going on from other places? Why should we waste our time on such nonsense? If you see what's happened, you can either believe me, or you'd have a good excuse to kick me out. Either way, you'd confirm the truth. All the spellcasters look to each other. He's right. If we can work out whether he's lying or not, will be the shortest way for us to resolve this issue. The wizard stands up and opens a magic seeing portal. A circle of divination, allowing them to see what lies ahead. They are struggling to maintain the spell. It becomes much clearer, however. And an energy is coming over the spell. The outline, it's as if nothing can be seen from divination. Well, there, see. Nothing showed up. Nothing's wrong. All of them are in agreement. Except for 3 of them. Something's wrong with that spell. I cannot say what it is. Yeah, it does seem a bit odd, don't you think? This is a spell that can discern locations without hiding the truth or anything, right? Something's interfering with the spell completely. A powerful magic. It's almost impossible to block out. To block out a spell like that. What would it take to block out a spell that powerful? An object of great power, connected to that of a god. The old wizard stands on his feet. Orc barbarian are real. Although we do not have sufficient proof that your claims are indeed correct. We are. I do see that. I do see that with what happened with the spell, that there is something definitely amiss. A very dangerous force is involved in this, one of which we cannot ignore. I promise our aid. But the orc, it damaged our tower. You're the one who taunted an orc barbarian. You should have known something like this would have happened. I, no, I am not. I am not convinced. I. How are you going to? How are you going How do you want? To be provided? What will it take to convince you otherwise? I suppose if the orc can fight my creation, then and when, then I would let him. Then I would be willing to aid him. Very well. What say you, orc? I'll take that chance. Then it's time for battle. The group moves to a new area. Gotta need something else for this. Yep, that'll do. Okay. Dice bag ASMR. Gotta get some points of the blank states. The whole room turns into a coliseum. The wizards in the pedestals watching on. Gordur in the middle of the ring. A large gate opens up. Gordur prepares himself for what may show up. Out comes a ghostly elemental. each elemental. It has aspects from each elemental: earth, air, fire, and water. Hold. It also has a mixture of gold all around it. This is a creature of pure nature, afflicted by the two cataclysmic events of the world. Gordur draws his axe. And is ready to face the creature. Rolling for initiative. And Gordur's going first. I just need to look over something quickly. Let's see. Let's have a look. Okay, this is what I'm trying to get to, and all the pages are. Okay, I got what I need to know. Gordur enters a rage and attacks with reckless abandon against the creature. He hits. Gordur attacks once more. Misses. Attacks. Hits. And one more attack. Misses. The elemental evaporates and reappears behind Gordur. It attacks. Misses. Attacks. Misses. And misses. Gordur attacks with reckless abandon. Hits. Attacking once more. Hits. Attacks again. Hits. The creature attacks now. Misses. Misses. Hits. Yep. That's a lot of damage. Gordur's turn. He attacks with reckless abandon. Misses. Attacks. Misses. Attacks. Hits. Attacks once more. Misses. The creature attacks Gordur. That's 3 hits. Okay, Gordur's turn. He attacks with reckless abandon. Hits. Gordur attacks again. Misses. He attacks. Misses. Attacks once more. Hits. Easily calculable numbers. Now the creature's turn. The elemental attacks and misses. Attacks and misses. Attacks once more and misses. Either I hit or I miss. This is weird. Gordur attacks with reckless abandon. Hits. He attacks again. Misses. Attacks again. Hits. And attacks once more. Hits. And now it is the elemental's turn. Misses. Misses. Hits. Gordur attacks with reckless abandon on the elemental. Misses. Hits. Attacks. Hits. The elemental's turn. Attacks. Hits. Attacks. Misses. Attacks. Misses. Okay. Gordur attacks with reckless abandon and misses. Attacks once more. Misses. Attacks again. Misses. And for one last time. He misses. The Elemental's turn. Misses. 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 Okay. Gordur attacks with reckless abandon. Hits. Okay. Easily calculable numbers are good. He attacks again. Misses. Attacks. Misses. Misses. Okay. The Elemental attacks. Misses. Attacks. Misses. Attacks. Hits. Okay, I was kind of hoping it was going to miss there. Mostly because the other two results are the exact same, so would have been crazy. Gordur's turn. He attacks with reckless abandon on the Elemental. Misses. He attacks again. Misses. Attacks again. Hits. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Attacks once more. Misses. Okay, Elemental attacks Gordur. Hits. Attacks. Hits. Attacks once more. Misses. Okay. Gordur attacks reckless abandon on the Elemental. Yes! Critical! Oh my god, thank you, Gordur. One for the trait. One for the brute. One for the brute. And 3 for the brute. As Gordur smites down on the creature with his axe. A from of energy shoots out from it. The creature dissipates. Every fiber of its elemental energy scatters through the arena. A shockwave of energy pulsates through the room. Gordur has defeated the elemental. You have done well. I am convinced. More so. How about the rest of you? All the other spellcasters look to each other. Then they look back to the wizened wizard and give a curt nod. Then, as decided, Orc Barbarian, your spellcasters, you shall have spellcasters for your war. We will aid you. Gordur breathes a sigh of relief, ready to move ahead with his plan. One concern has been addressed. Soon battle will be brought to the claimed lands. Gordur's already trying to think of a strategy, of something they need to push the tide ever to their favor. Gordur is readying to leave with all the spellcasters. And that is where we'll end this length of Gordur's journey. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. We're ever closer to Gordur's ending. I'll see you next time.